Hogan has had to be this week, I guess, to earn his spot back in the team?
It's pretty much, the way he's gone about his last couple of weeks. He's been outstanding. In his last 2 weeks, he's been helping our forward line operate. He's been working closely with those guys, and his training's been exceptional. So, just great to get a real quality player back into our team. We know what he provides, the environment from a playing perspective, and it's just going to be great to have him back out there.
Does he owe a bit from your point of view?
He doesn't owe us anything. He's clearly made a mistake in terms of his suspension. And he's keen to learn from that and get better, but he doesn't owe us. What he owes us is just to play the way that we know he can play and contribute to the team.
Who makes way for Hogan this week?
We'll deal with that on Saturday. We've got a long time between now and the game, so Hogan and Michael Hibbert will come into the team. They're both quality players, and exciting to have them both back out there.
Is Sam Wiedemann going okay after that corky on the weekend?
Yeah, look, he had a corky, so we'll give him the next couple of days to see how he comes up. He's a young player that's played 6 games, and he had to endure a fair bit last week with his corky. He got that really early in the game, so we'll see how he comes up later in the week.
Just having Jesse back down there as a big target, how much of a difference does it make to your forward line?
Oh, significant. He's a smart forward line player. He's got genuine presence in our forward 50, and he helps it function. We've had 30 scoring shots in the last 2 weeks, but we probably haven't been as efficient inside 50 as we would have liked.
How do you address those fade outs during games? Like your best is so good, but then the worst is pretty bad.
Yeah, we've probably had 2 quarters in the last 2 matches that haven't probably resembled how we want to play. I thought our last quarter last week was outstanding, but we've had those quarters where it just hasn't reflected the way that we want to play, and that's probably been the disappointing element for us as a footy club, that we need to do that for longer and make sure we can play the game a certain way for longer.
Is it a matter in those situations of just reverting to kind of locking down defensively, trying to halt that momentum, or is there another way to avert those momentum swings?
We tried a number of things in the last 2 weeks. We'll continue to educate our players on what that looks like, but just adding some composure to the way we play. It's felt like we've been pretty rushed in those periods of play, and just adding some experience into the team and adding some composure will help that.
Anzac Eve clash, have you done anything with the boys to try and get an old Anzac in to sort of give them inspiration, and do they realise how big a game this is?
Yeah, on Sunday, we'll use the opportunity to really educate and grow our appreciation for the Anzacs. We've got a veteran from the World War II coming in who is a prisoner of war on Sunday to speak to the guys for half an hour and share his experience, both throughout that period but also life after, and I'm sure the guys will learn plenty from that.
How's Big Dorney? He's had surgery, been back around the club?
Yeah, he's drifting in and out. He's obviously had his surgery, but he's had a quiet week on the couch. Clearly he's playing FIFA at the moment, so but it will be good to get him back at the club in the next couple of weeks to get him around the players a bit more often.
Has not having Max, has that changed your stoppage setups much, where you're in less attacking positions, Simon?
Oh, we've tinkered a little bit, but in saying that, it was probably last week we were up against Aaron Sandlands, who's a pretty dominant ruckman. This week's a different challenge for Jake Spencer. I thought he competed really well last week, but this week we feel that Spencer's going to give us a good look at the ball, and we'll get back to the midfield setup that we want to play.
How much of a challenge do guys like Dan Butler and Daniel Rioli pose? I guess it's a big task for some of your younger, small defenders.
It's been a key element to Richmond's game style. They're playing some really strong footy, but their pressure inside their forward 50 is elite. I think it's the best in the competition. So those guys are providing some real structural benefit to Richmond, and it's something that as a club and a coaching staff we're looking at closely.
Do you go head to head with Dustin Martin, or do you run someone with him more so? How do you view him and combating him?
We certainly view him as a really strong player. Clearly, we'll keep an eye on his impact throughout the game. When he's forward, he'll have a match-up that we think suitable to be able to play on Dustin. Through the midfield, we'll probably back our boys in initially, and then obviously keep an eye on his impact through that area of the ground.
With your own expectations going into this season, where do you see the club at the moment? Is this sort of where you thought you'd be, or did you think you'd be in a better position?
Oh no, it's where we thought we'd be. We're still evolving and developing as a team, and creating the right habits to play the style we want all the time. And I think what you've seen in the last few weeks especially is that we're still learning how to do that, especially when we're under pressure, and really adding that composure. So as we get more experience and as we learn how to cope with those situations, those inconsistencies will be less, and the results will start turning our way.
Has Melksham been a bit hard done by? 10 grand for a non-footy you know, what he does his own business, his own time type thing?
Oh, it's you know, it's an investigation that took place. You know, Jake's mistake was that he didn't you know, contribute all the information at the relevant time. You know, he admits that and obviously corrected it pretty quickly. But you know, I think it's important that that when we have these investigations, that people are honest and make sure they release all the information required, because it is important to the integrity of the game.
I gather he felt that the Asada situation played into this, that he felt that because he'd been truthful then, that it had made him more reluctant to maybe be completely forthcoming this time.
Yeah, look, I can't comment on that, Jake. You know, that's up to Melky, how he was feeling. You know, it was an investigation that I wasn't a part of. So, you know, you have to ask Jake that.
Did you consider any internal sanctions for Jake?
No, not at all. No, this is that was something that took place in June last year when he was away on his suspension. You know, from his Essendon situation. So, from our perspective, you know, Jake's biggest mistake was not sharing all the relevant information, and he'll learn and move forward from that.
Is it a good example, I guess, for young players to look at that and be more forthcoming? And
Oh, absolutely. I think it's important that, you know, everyone in the competition does the same thing. So I think that's the example and the learning for everyone in the competition.
How much are you loving being coach? Just is it you feeling the pressure? Like compared to being an assistant, how much harder is it?
I'm loving what I do. I wake up every morning and love the challenge of preparing a team, preparing a group of coaches to take on a challenge on a daily basis. And with that, the journey's up and down. But you know, we're really clear on what we're trying to build. And I take great enjoyment of being able to build those habits and build the environment and the culture that we want moving forward.
Did you branded yourselves pre-season to want to play fearless football? Did you play that last week?
No, that's probably what I'm saying, Jake. You know, we went away from how we want to play, and our responsibility as a club and a playing group and a coaching staff is to get back to playing that fearless brand of footy that we know we're really capable of developing.
You got a solution to the third man up situation?
No, I haven't. It's been done to death, and there's no solution for my end. What it'll be will be, and I'm sure the AFL will get the rules right.
Were you in the yay or the nay camp? Because it was about 50-50 among the coaches.
Yeah, I was in the keep the third man up scenario, so you know, might come back.